A slam dunk for the snowfall into parts of New England. So let's start you out with a few cities here, with Providence in particular. Timing of this coming in on Saturday evening into your Sunday morning. Snowfall ranging likely somewhere between a good 3 to 5 inches, with winds calm enough that we don't expect winds to create any visibility issues, but the snowfall rates could be heavy enough that that's going to cause a few of those problems for you. Let's put this in motion for you, step you through hour by hour through the evening hours onto your Saturday. So 7, 8 o'clock at night, the snowflakes will begin to fall. Notice really heavy, especially Hartford southward, and we'll see some of that mixing likely along the coast, but we think you'll stay all snow in Providence, all snow in Hartford, so that will allow you to start to see some of those higher numbers. This will taper off then as we get into the early morning hours, so by the time you wake up, the snow will begin to end and move out of the region. You can go about your business on Sunday once the plows get on through there, and you can clear off your driveway. So snowfall totals here likely ranging somewhere between about 3 and 5 inches widespread. A few spots could see a bit of a boost and some of those heavier bandings of snow. And check out Boston. Your snowfall comes in around 10 o'clock at night or so, continues into the early morning hours. But take note of these temperatures here just above freezing. So we're going to have to see some good snowfall rates to get that to stick on the roads. Let's take a look at the flood alerts that are in effect at this time. We've got them from parts of Pennsylvania stretching all the way down into parts of Kentucky. These flood watches are going to stay in effect through this evening for today. But look at this large area here. This is where we have flood warnings, where active flooding is already taking place. Many rivers, creeks, and streams are out of their banks. We've even had reports of mudslides today in parts of Pennsylvania. The rainfall totals have been ranging from about 1 to 3 inches and still coming down in some of these spots. So you can see it around Elkins down towards Charleston into Bristol, Tennessee, and Roanoke, looking for more showers to be pushing on in. The rain has been heavy in eastern Pennsylvania the last hour, hour and a half, from Allentown stretching over into New York City. So this is going to be impacting your PM rush. Those wet roads are coming in as you're trying to get home and get out as we head into your Friday night. The southeast, you haven't seen a lot of action so far, but some gusty winds with this little line here. So be aware of that from Mississippi through Alabama and into Georgia. That sinks southward, but we got to keep our eye out because that's just round one. Here we go. Another wave of rain will be pushing into the Tennessee River Valley as we head into the morning hours on your Saturday, continuing through much of the day. So Nashville, you're likely going to pick up maybe another half of an inch to an inch of rainfall on top of already saturated ground, and then this moves up fairly quickly. Look at the additional rainfall amounts, at least an inch. A few spots could be seeing another 2. Let's get into areas a little farther north from there. You were mentioning Boston, getting ready for some snowfall. Well, Boston, we think this timing for you will be between Saturday evening, continuing into your Sunday morning. Right now, our snowfall forecast around 1 to 3, but we're going to have to keep an eye on it with borderline temperatures. It could affect how much actually accumulates on the ground. So we'll time you through here hour by hour as we head into the nighttime hours after 9 o'clock. So if you want to spend most of your day doing whatever, getting your stuff done here, Boston, you're going to be fine, but be home by maybe 8 o'clock or so as those flakes continue to fall. I think the heaviest snow is going to be along and south of the Massachusetts Turnpike. Keep that in mind. Sunday morning, it's going to exit fairly quickly. You're going to be done by 7, maybe 8 o'clock or so. Snowfall totals likely going to range somewhere between 3 and 5 inches. Again, those numbers could change a little bit in the next 24 hours, so be aware of that. And there you can see the timing. Sunshine's even going to come out on your Sunday, and you should be able to get around, and that's going to work on some of the roads as well, hopefully to bring you a little bit of melting there. And Providence, Rhode Island, we're expecting about 3 to 5 inches of snow. More on the snow and flood threat. All right, thanks so much, Chris. We're talking snowfall here, of course, with the winter weather update, or lack thereof. I think a lot of people in parts of the country are saying to themselves, where's my big snow this year?
You're right, and you were saying people in D.C. have already been complaining about it because that's one of the areas we've really missed out this year in terms of snowfall. Here are the totals, the latest totals before, of course, with what we're expecting from this storm. D.C. about 9 inches below average for this time of the year. We've only had 3 inches so far this season, which is just nothing, you know, no big snows, nothing.
A lot of big snow lovers, but D.C. gets, you know, the big nor'easters and the big coastal storms, so sometimes they'll get a big one and then the next season will be kind of a dud.
Yeah, it's very tricky to see how a place like D.C. really times out, and so this weekend we do have that potential to be seeing accumulating snow in that area, but it's not a blockbuster slam dunk type of event for places like D.C. because look at how warm these temperatures are. This, if it were going to be snow, would be all covered in blue, but because we're seeing this warmer air mix in and surface temperatures that really aren't too cold, it is not likely going to be a lot of accumulation in the DC area, even if we do get those flurries. Now, to places farther to the north, we could be seeing several more inches of snow, especially north and west of Interstate 95. On the northwest side of this system that's developing here, we could see a band of pretty moderate to heavy snow developing, and we're looking at a different model here, and we're in agreement on the timing and on the location for the most part of these things. Where that heavy band sets up is always hard to tell this far in time, but likely here across northern New Jersey into the lower part of New York State, and then up across the inner part of New England, we could be seeing several inches of snow come down.
And we're talking the heavy wet stuff that's like good for making snowmen and snowballs, right? But maybe not for sledding.
No, and definitely not for shoveling, right? They call that heart attack snow, because if it accumulates a lot and you go out, it's heavy, it's very wet. So please be careful. Make sure you warm up before you go shovel the driveway, because it could be quite heavy at times. But here's a look at what we're expecting, and then again, somewhere across potentially eastern Connecticut, Rhode Island, maybe southeast of Boston, we could be seeing some spots getting greater than 5 inches, maybe up to 8, which would be quite a lot. But again, looking at DC, this is in terms of your annual snowfall. Jackie, we are way far behind. We should be way ahead of the game by this point.
Meteorological spring, just 2 weeks away.
Yeah, amazing.
All right, back to you.